Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this week's NewsNow podcast. My guest this week in the humble Mountain Street office is none other than Pam Ellens, the Executive Director of the West Lincoln Memorial Hospital Foundation. Hi, Pam.
Hi, Mike. How you doing today?
I'm excellent. Yourself? Today, being this time of year, actually very first day of December, we're going to be talking about the Trees of Healthy Wishes campaign, which the foundation is just starting, really, right at the beginning of it. We're going to talk a little bit about the history, how the program has evolved, and what it does for the hospital and how it operates. So maybe, Pam, just start with that, a little explanation of approximately how long the program has been going in the community and what it does.
Okay, Mike. Well, the program started in 1994, so that was like 27 years ago.
It's longer than I thought.
Yes. And each year what we do is we send out an unaddressed ad mail to everyone in our catchment area.
The brochure, yep.
Which is the brochure. And it looks
and the
like
catchment
this.
area still includes like Winona up. It used to be part of Bimbrook even. I don't know if it still goes
Yeah,
up
it's
there.
all of West Lincoln.
Yes.
Grimsby.
West Niagara, all West Niagara.
Yes, but how we define it is it's all of West Lincoln, all of Lincoln, and all of Grimsby, and then the easterly portion of Stony Creek from Fruitland Road towards Grimsby.
And up the mountain a bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a little bigger than people might realize.
Yes. So, well, this year we sent out 32,000 brochures.
Yep.
So those are the households that are within the catchment area.
Yep.
So we do that, and it's a great program in that what we do is it's an opportunity for the community to submit a wish and at the same time support healthcare. The wish component is on the brochure, so it's really up to the donor whether they want to or publish a wish. So their name would go in. Their name would go in, and then they could identify a healthy wish, and it could be something like honoring a special loved one. It could be
it's family members, volunteers in the community. It's
Merry
I've seen all
Christmas.
kinds of things. Yeah.
It could be announcing the birth or recognizing the birth of their loved one that took place within that year. It could be also something from a grateful patient, recognizing the care that
In
they
memoriams
received.
too, now that I
Yep.
think of it, right?
Yep. Anything that
Yeah.
they wish. There's no particular
Limitation.
word length
Yeah.
or anything that you can put in, but it's a great way to also extend Christmas wishes and at the same
And New
time
Year's. Don't forget New Year's.
and New Year's, and at the same time support the local hospital and
Yep.
at the same time.
Yep.
So it's a twofold thing.
So, if you could explain how, the program has already started. We've had a couple of things in the paper, and we'll have other stories, through over the next month. But explain how it, where it cuts off and what happens at the back end of it.
Yeah, so there isn't a particular amount in a donation that you can make to participate, but there's also an opportunity for you to light an angel and any donation that's received at $1,000 or greater, up to $1,999, you get a 2-foot angel lit on the hospital property, and any donations over $2,000 gets a 4-foot angel on the hospital property. And so what we do from there is that any donation, doesn't matter of size, that we receive by December the 17th, it will be published in the December 23rd edition of the NewsNow.
Yep.
And any donation that we receive after December the 17th.
Through the holiday season,
Yes,
kind of.
through the entire holiday season. will be published in the January 13th issue.
The wrap up, yep.
Yeah, the wrap up. So, yeah, we try to do the December 23rd issue so that people can extend Christmas and holiday greetings.
Right through the season, that's right.
You know, we have classes that recognize the teacher, individuals who recognize the teacher. So it is a great opportunity.
It's good you mentioned the decorations, and those go on the lawn of the hospital,
Yes,
as you
they go on
mentioned.
the lawn of the hospital.
That might explain for some people who are driving by, going, "What's that all about, and why does it keep changing?" Well, that's why.
Yeah, and we have 3 different sites for the Trees of Healthy Wishes program. So in Lincoln, we have a site on the property of Outfront Portables on Ontario Street.
Yeah.
And then we have it on the hospital grounds, as well as at park in Smithville. I believe it's called Coronation Park.
Oh, their park.
Yes.
I understand. Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
So those are the 3 locations, and Coronation Park is in downtown West Lincoln.
Yep. Not to be confused with Grimsby's Coronation Park, of
Yes.
course. That's right.
Yes.
So now, is there a goal for the campaign? And we're going to get to the wish list of the board and sort of what the funds raised this year would be targeted towards. But I know that last year was a good year for the campaign itself. Maybe you could just explain where the money goes and how that is dealt with.
The money that we raise from the Trees of Healthy Wishes program goes to support the programs and services offered at West Lincoln Memorial Hospital, specifically the equipment that's needed. The foundation doesn't...
not capital funds. It's not even operational, but
No, it's not operational.
just to explain the difference there. Yeah.
It's capital. So capital is things like
Wheelchairs,
the new hospital project,
gurneys.
or specific equipment.
Yeah.
A good example is like our board has approved $1.7 million in equipment that could be purchased first of all, that have been deemed a priority for the hospital. And so the board has approved that to be funded in this fiscal year. So that equipment is in the procurement process that Hamilton Health Sciences has for West Lincoln Memorial Hospital.
So now, if you just explain how those items are chosen, like it's not the board, which is somewhat, I don't want to say disconnected from the hospital, I don't mean that at all, but there's how the communication would work with Hamilton Health Sciences in determining those items.
Yeah, well, the foundation doesn't set what the hospital priorities are, or what basically happens is the hospital does that, and then the hospital will send a wish list, which we send out every spring, just to let the community know what the hospital is identifying that the need is for that particular current year.
Yep.
So then, over the course of the year, we'll refer to that as the wish list. The hospital will come to us and prioritize that wish list. And it you know what I mean? It could be something that, a light breaks, or, they need an additional wheelchair.
Well, I remember one year emergency stretchers, were a priority one year. I think there was 2 on the list. So yeah, it shifts around year to year. Now, you'd mentioned that the board had dealt with a list of priorities, which you brought with you, maybe, because I'm sure everybody knows healthcare is expensive, but I'm not sure that they understand how expensive it can be. So if you're mentioning some of these items and some of the price tags that go with them, I think it may provide some context for people in terms of, yowza.
Yes.
So maybe just go through what's on your list.
Just a couple of items?
Yeah.
Just a couple of items. Well, within this fiscal year, and our fiscal year runs from April 1st to March 31st, okay, the board has approved the purchase of $1.7 million.
Total.
In total. Okay. And those approvals have been deemed a priority by the Hamilton Health Science or West Lincoln Memorial Hospital staff. So in clinical support, it's kind of broken down. There's $1.3 million. And included in that would be equipment for the lab. A reagent freezer, centrifuge for blood testing. So those are a couple there. The CT scan is also included in there. And then emergency care, there's a telemetry system for $32,000. In community surgery, $246,000.
Just I see the price tag on the CAT scan there. Maybe because that's a fantastic amenity to have in town, but just mention the price tag that goes with that.
$1.3 million?
Yeah, so not cheap.
No,
And I understand the lifespan of those is about 10 years.
I believe so.
So
yes.
That's the first one that's ever been.
Yeah,
at West
and one of
Lincoln,
the other
not?
things that, yes, this is our very first CAT scan.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the other things that I think it's worth noting is that the foundation board made a motion a while back that any new equipment that's being approved right now, they want it to be transferable or
Sure.
as part of that could be moved
Put
into
on
a
wheels.
new facility.
That's it. That's
So,
it.
so that's another great,
Yeah.
a great note.
And because of that, and because of the work that the foundation has done in recent years, I'll say recent years only because some of the equipment sort of has a lifespan, that created quite a savings. And I won't get into the costing of the new build, but the local portion was reduced quite a bit because of the high quality state and lifespan of existing equipment that's in the hospital that will be transferred over, like you're saying. So the initial estimate of what the local share of fundraising would be was reduced because of the groundwork that programs like this have done, say in the last 5 to 10 years.
The foundation is always very welcoming to support the initiatives of the hospital.
And being forward thinking ahead of the game.
Absolutely.
And that's what I really
and I take great pride with having a board that thinks like that.
Exactly. And that's why those items are on the list in the first place, right?
Absolutely.
Maybe just run through a few more to
in our community
put some
surgery
context.
program, I had indicated $246,000, and that's basically for new orthopedic equipment, new general surgery equipment, and gynecology equipment. In our maternal and newborn care, there was $67,000, and that was for a phototherapy system for OBS, infusion pumps for OBS. So those are a couple of
I'm just
examples.
nodding a lot with some of these because I really don't know what they are, but
And the costs, really surprising because like the phototherapy system, that's $28,000.
yeah. So, but I'm looking at your list. I see that there's one item for $5,000, and even like that's at the lower end. But even the simplest thing can still be very expensive, for hospital specs and what needs to be done.
Yeah, the one item that you're looking at is a cart for it's a flat panel monitor for community surgery. But there's another item here for the commode chair for physio. That's $3,900. Equipment is obviously not inexpensive.
Yeah.
And we
Hospital grade comes with a price tag.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
But every dollar is going to things that are prioritized and are needed. That's for sure.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
now maybe if you could just sort of go through again how, like, if someone didn't have the brochure or is watching at home or whatever and wants to get involved and make a donation, do they physically need that brochure, or can they give the foundation a call or go through the website, or what are the options?
No, anyone who would like to make a donation to the Trees of Healthy Wishes campaign can do it a number of ways. They can go on our website, which is www.wlmhfoundation.ca, and they can go right into the Trees of Healthy Wishes campaign, and they can make a donation online.
Mm-hmm.
They can alternatively contact the foundation through telephone, which is 905-945-9564. And they can mail in the brochure, or alternatively, in one of the ads that are placed in the paper, they can cut that ad out and forward it,
Send it in
to the foundation. Or we have a mailbox located right outside the Globe Center that they can drop it off.
The Globe Center being the building just to the west side of the hospital itself.
Yes,
separate
absolutely.
laneway on that side. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe then just again in time go over the deadline again for the early Christmas insertion of the trees pages.
So any wishes that we receive by Friday, December the 17th, will be placed in the December 23rd NewsNow
Christmas
paper.
edition, yeah.
Yes. And gifts received after December 17th will be placed in the January 13th paper.
That's right. Is there any other points you wanted to mention, or anything that we haven't covered? I think we've got everything that...
Yeah, I think we have everything, Mike. I do want to thank you for having me here today.
No trouble.
And I certainly want to thank all the donors who support West Lincoln Memorial Hospital. It is so much appreciated by the patients, you know what I mean, that are served by West Lincoln Memorial Hospital. And a hospital is a place where it's kind of like motherhood and apple pie. It needs to be
Well, it's the
there.
absolute cornerstone of the community. There's no question. I've covered every event and every municipality and every fundraising thing that's ever come down the pipe. But boy, when people talk about the hospital, it's number one by far, and just a sincere passion.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things, you don't want to use it,
Oh,
But
but you want it to be there.
but you want it to be there.
Oh, yeah.
When you or a loved one needs it.
Well, everybody knows somebody that probably had something very good happen there. Like, it's a hospital. Bad things happen for sure. But, whether it's a birth of, someone in the family connected to a birth, or someone who got life-saving procedure because of the proximity of the hospital, it's all around us. It's part of life and part of everybody's life. And it's when you mention donors, like I know lots of people that buy those 50-50. At their event, they'll try a silent auction item or buy a 50-50. They're $2, $5, $10, and then you have other people that do great things with major donations as well. So it's across the board.
All over. It's all over. Just as you're talking about 50-50, Mike, I just do.
Oh, yes.
I do want to just give you a little...
scoop.
Scoop?
A scoop.
A scoop?
A NewsNow scoop. We should
NewsNow
have a little
scoop?
flashing light or something.
Toot, toot,
I'll see what we can do about that.
The foundation will be launching an online 50-50 draw on January the 10th. So people will see more about that. Obviously...
Now, is that going to be a
paper.
separate site? Does that go through the website as well?
It goes through our website.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'll make sure that gets put up on the screen, but people can start looking for that. And I'm sure we'll be, once the details are finalized, we'll be having more a story to explain things in the paper and all that.
Absolutely. So we're excited for that, and we're going to be launching it January 10th.
That's neat. Yep.
So, but nobody knows about it yet.
Well, they will.
They will
The
know.
masses. The masses will know. I think my mom watches every week. So,
Oh, does she?
Yeah, I'm sure she'll get a 50-50 in January. Excuse me. As I say, thanks for coming in. Appreciate your time as always. And Merry Christmas.
And Merry Christmas to you, and thank you.
Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you can, support the Trees of Healthy Wishes and get your money ready for January when the 50-50 rolls out. Thanks, and see you again next week.